Everyone, Garrett here, bringing you another episode of the History's Greatest Warriors through the video game For Honor. This episode we are going to feature the Orochi. The Orochi is closely related to the ninja. The typical ninja is pictured to be a mysterious person inside a black suit that does crazy combat moves and runs up walls. However, ninjas were a huge part of Japanese warfare starting in the mid-15th century and going into the 17th century. Ninjas were best known as the silent attackers and the knight, but were more commonly used as agents to gather intel and scout the area. The ninja's equipment was ahead of its time, and there is still some connections to our tools today. The first appearance of the ninja was in the mid-10th century. However, the term ninja derived from the word shinobi. The nin portion came later from an alternative reading of the Japanese character. The skills of the ninjas were so valuable that during this time, entire villages were dedicated to the training of the ninjas. Like many other skills, the technique of ninjutsu were passed down from father to their sons. When a child was born in a ninja family, it was very rare that they were not taken into training. Training started very early in the child's life. They started learning skills such as balance, swordsmanship, underwater breathing, which they did through a bamboo tube, and isolation in the wilderness. They trained in groups. In these groups, they learned to climb walls. This is where the myth of ninjas being able to fly comes from. Some weapons and equipment that the ninja used. The ninja had a very wide array of equipment that was very advanced for the time. Some of their equipment included special floats that they wore on their feet that allowed them to run across water. They had many folding saws and like tools that were used to break into castles. These tools are close to what modern-day rescuers use. They had a wide array of metal claws that would be attached to their fingers or palm to be used in CQB, which is close quarters combat, and used for scaling walls. The ninja also carried a metal tube that was simply used for listening through walls. The ninja carried a sword, but it was shorter than the katana that was carried by the traditional Japanese samurai. Another notable ninja weapon that was used were the shurikens, which were throwing stars, commonly called ninja stars. Even though people believed that they could be thrown hard enough to kill someone, that is false. They were very inaccurate and were used to disable or distract the opponents so the ninja could get closer and finish them with their sword. So now let's talk about the ninja village. The ninjas had special villages that were filled with traps and saddle parts that were put into place to help defend the village. The leader's house was set on a raised mound and surrounded by a fence so it could be defended. Even though it looked like a simple wooden structure, the house was surrounded by rice paddies so they could be flooded to create a moat-like area that intruders had a hard time passing. Inside the house there were a vast setting of simple yet genius traps. Some of these traps included trapdoors, hidden walls, and floorboards that were designed to squeak when stepped on so they would know an intruder was there. During the time of ninjas, there was a major divide in the power. During this time, all the dynamos were fighting for power and trying to become the shogun, which was the most powerful warrior, second to the emperor. Ninjas were usually hired as mercenaries to spy or kill the rivals of your dynamo. Some might find this odd given the strict honor codes that the samurai lived by, given the dynamo employed many. Some outfits and disguises that were used by the ninjas. Ninjas are pictured wearing all black and sneaking around at night. This is true half of the time. When the ninja would conduct a mission at night, they would wear their black suit that concealed their identity and made them blend in with their surroundings. They also employed an outfit of a kumoso, which is a traveling minstrel that lived off of donations traveling from town to town. This outfit included a large wicker hat that covered their entire face. Another outfit that was used was that of the yamabushi. These were people that lived monk-like lives and only traveled into town a few times to replenish their supplies. Now let's talk about what the game gets right and wrong. The game harnesses the true picture of the ninja being fast and agile, but they do not sneak up on their enemies in the game. As you can see as you watch the fight, the Kinsei overpowers the Orochi because it has a lot more brute strength. The Orochi attacks very fast and is able to strike quickly and dodge the incoming hits. This is where the game really captures the true picture of the ninja and its fighting style. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more history to come and enjoy the rest of the fight.